Scotland is a country that is a member of the United Kingdom. Covering the northern third of the Isle of Britain, Scotland is bordered by England to the south, the North Sea to the east, the Atlantic Ocean to the north and west, and the North Channel and Irish Sea to the southwest. In addition to the mainland, Scotland also consists of more than 719 islands, including the northern isles and the Hebrides. Edinburgh. Edinburgh, the nation's capital and second largest city, is one of the largest financial centers in Europe. Edinburgh was the center of the Scottish Enlightenment in the 18th century, which turned Scotland into one of Europe's industrial, commercial, and intellectual powers. Glasgow, Scotland's largest city, was once of the world's leading industrial cities and is currently located at the heart of the Greater Glasgow conurbation. Scottish waters comprise a large number of sectors, the North Atlantic and North Sea, containing the largest oil reserves in the European Union. Because of this, Aberdeen, Scotland's third largest city, has been dubbed the oil capital of Europe. Although incorporated into one sovereign state, the Scottish legal system is separate from the legal system used in England and Wales and Northern Ireland. Scotland has different public and private law jurisdiction from the rest of the British constituency. The separation of Scotland's legal, educational and religious institutions from the rest of the British constituency has contributed to the continuity of Scottish culture and national identity since the Union of 1707. Scotland is the member state of the British-Irish Council, the British-Irish Parliamentary Assembly, and is also a party to the Treaty of the Territories. General travel. Scotland also has 6 representatives in the European Union and the European Parliament. Scottish clothing, or so-called Kilt Scotland. The kilt is a traditional Scottish clothing that developed in the 16th century with a unique cut that resembles a skirt and has a number of pleats on the back. Clothing made of tartan cloth with a large pleat pattern is generally worn by a local man as a cover for the lower body from the waist up to the knees. Giving the name tartan itself began when King James V gave 3 yards of cloth to his wife in 1538. Entering the 19th century, the Celtic tribes made this clothing one of their cultural heritage and produced almost all clothing from wool in plaid motifs. For Scottish society, the use of the kilt is considered a true identity, symbol, and of the breadth of the country's culture. So, it is not surprising that children in Scotland as early as possible are accustomed to wearing kilts. In terms of construction and design, the Scottish kilt has its own characteristic that distinguish it from other clothing models. As a complement to the style of dress, the use of this kilt is usually combined with belts and buckles to hold it from being released. Jackets, small bags, or sporrans that hang from the front, and special shoes that are only worn on certain occasions. Like in performing arts, for example, the members of the group's dancer with agility display their skills in tapping their foot swings according to the rhythm of the music with the same rhythm in traditional kilt clothing. Not only limited to dancers and musical instrument players, but all the spectators who where peasants also look very proud to wear kilts.
Next, we can see the interesting things about Scotland. Scotland is the best place to see the aurora borealis in winter. There are some interesting facts that can only be found in Scotland. Let's have a look. First, what you see in the screen, this is bagpipes, traditional Scottish musical instrument. Bagpipes are a typically Scottish wind instrument that is very often found in the Scottish Lowlands. Bagpipes are usually played for wedding celebration, parties, and musical performance. The bagpipes themselves consist of a bag or pouch made of leather which can receive air by a tube and be stopped by a valve. The airbag is called a chanter, which functions as to store air, so that the air blown by bagpipe players will be stored into the chanter and will still be able to make sound even though it is not blown anymore. The second is unicorn. Unicorn is the coat of arms of Scotland. Unicorn is a national animal that is believed to exist. Scottish legends always features mythical stories for this animal. The unicorn was first used as a royal symbol in the 12th century during the reign of William I. In fact, the unicorn was used as the symbol on gold coins in the 5th century. This unique animal is believed to have a symbol of innocence, purity, strength, masculinity in Celtic mythology. The next interesting thing is about the language. We know that every country have their own national language, and the national language of Scotland is Scottish Gaelic. This language is one of the most difficult languages in the world. Although all Scots use English in their daily activities, did you know that 1600 Scots, or nearly 2% of them, speak Scottish Gaelic, a language of Celtic origin? This language has a significant differences compared to English. For example, if we want to ask where is the toilet, in the Scottish Gaelic we say "Cat a bell" and "take back." The majority of Scottish people who speak Scottish Gaelic live in the Highlands, or what is often called the Scottish Highlands. The next thing is about their hair. Scottish natives have red hair that called ginger hair, in contrast to Asian people's hair which tends to be black. Some Scottish peoples are actually red. This red color is obtained from generation to generation. Achagene derivates from their ancestors, not because it was intentionally colored red, This red hair is characterized by high levels of reddish phenomenon pigments and low dark levels of ermine pigment. Next thing is about their culinary. Haggis is a typical culinary that you can only find in Scotland. Haggis is made of minced lamb, offal or inside with salads, oats, suet, spices, and salt, which is then mixed with a little broth and wrapped in a lamb's stomach. Haggis is then boiled at a temperature below the boiling point of water for 3 hours. This culinary dish is Scotland's national dish and is the main dish at burnt suppers. The last is about the World largest summer art festival. Furthermore, in Scotland, there is also the largest art festival in the world. This festival is held every summer. Usually, Edinburgh, the capital of Scotland, will host a festival called the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. The festival is held for approximately 3 weeks and is attended by thousands of people. Another interesting fact is that in this country, it turns out that all water is considered free for its citizens to use.
the tradition of the prospective bride in Scotland. Strange Scottish tradition of bride is called blackening. Yeah, blackening may be viewed as a traditional wedding ceremony that performed several weeks before the wedding day. These cultures are commonly found in rural areas, northeast Scotland, Highlands, and Iceland of the North. The prospective groom in Scotland seems excited about the tradition. The Scottish tradition, called blackening, believes that before a bride marries the man she loves, he must be willing to bear the public humiliation. This public humiliation covered the prospective bride with animal feces and sticky foodstuffs such as molasses, flour, and some other foodstuffs. The groom can cover his bride in any way he can, and should willingly commit this blackening tradition in front of the crowd. Meanwhile, the bride and groom in Indonesia, especially in North Sumatra, there is a unique wedding tradition carried out by the Sasak tribe in Lombok. Namely, the groom must kidnap the bride first before getting married. This tradition is known as escape. The method is quite simple. The idol girl doesn't need to tell her parents. If you want to get married, the girl is taken. But don't forget the rules. Stealing a girl and then running away must be done by bringing some relatives or friends. Apart from being a witness, the relatives who were brought to steal the girl also serve as accompaniments in the drawing procession.